so I'm gonna go through my entire day. I woke up to my mom. She said, we have to leave in 30 minutes. So I'm like, okay. I fell asleep. 20 minutes later, apparently, my dad came in my room and he's like, yo, your mama in the shower, dog. Yo, Holmes, you gotta leave in like 10 to till to the 8, you know? Holmes, swiggly dog.
Yeah.
And he said, wake up, bird shit. You gotta peep on them worms, early bird. So I'm
Really?
like, shit, man. I'm like rolling in them 2K22 diamonds on them Fall Guy Ultimate Knockout, you know what I'm saying,
Oh my
Holmes?
god.
So then I got up, and I like grabbed my phone, and I'm like, shit, dog, it's like 7:20, and I'm like, damn. So I hopped out of my crib, and I'm like, yo, where's the gabagoo? And my mom said,
The
like,
gabagoo, you know?
yo, over there, home. So I looked on the couch, and boom, there it was, my dog, Home G Jigga G. And I'm like, yo, get your fine ass over here. So then I, like, got dressed inside it, and then I put on my shoes, and then we left that hoe. So then, we drove all the way over to Jansen Beach, you know, by the Home Depot and the
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, next to the Stevie B's, Papa John's, and that Cold Stone Homes,
Oh,
right
yeah.
past the mall on
Yeah.
Block 22.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So then I was walking in. They said like, "Yo, repentance or something." In the repentance, there was a EMT there, and I'm like, "Yo, what's up, dog? Let me slide some of that morphine." He said, "Nah, bro, where's your prescription?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm legal, I swear." So I whipped out my camouflage wallet that I found in the ocean. I'm like, bruh, here's my green card. And he's like,
Yeah?
shit, dog. And he's like, put me some weed. I'm like, damn, bro, this medical or prescription? He said, medical, dog. It's all free. So I'm like, yeah, so what?
shit.
Where can I get some more? He's like, bruh, at your local pharmacy. I'm like, what the fuck is that? He said, at your Walgreens. I'm like, shit, man. So I gave that guy the whole scoop up handshake, you know, a little busted down on the man's weenus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I walked in, and now I'm like, yo, it's taking too long in here, because apparently my dad's insurance covers half my shit because my mom's insurance costs too much, even though she's a medical person, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
anyway, we gotta give that insurance card, and the lady's like, yo, that's $40 up front. I'm like, shit,
Oh
bro,
my
I could
God.
be buying a bunch of Pokemon cards with that.
Exactly. That's good money
I'm
right
like,
there for
shit,
Pokemon.
bro. So then I'm sitting down, and it's taking forever, you know what I'm saying? So I whip out my book, and I start reading that shit for like 30 minutes. So then the lady come in, I'm like, shit, bro, it's my turn. But no, she calls in this old lady who came in after me. I'm like, shit, dog, it don't make no goddamn sense. She came in after me. So I got in a fist fight with the morgue instructor, and she's like, yo, I'm gonna be doing an autopsy after this fight. I'm like, shit, dog, you might be in my table. So then I lost the fight, so I sat down. She was strong as fuck, bro. She might have been
Really?
that Biles from the Olympic game earlier today where we lost that gold medal. But that's another story. I digress. So then my turn finally come up. She's like, yo, Nicholas Martin. I'm like, shit, bro, that's my name. So then I went in, and she's like, we're gonna have to do some hearing tests because your hearing is shit. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I can't hear nothing. So then I'm like, yeah, it's probably like 80% of my hearing. I'm like clicking in my ear, and I see a ringing. So then I'm like, shit, bruh. So then they like put me up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? She's like, I'm gonna have to hold you down. And I'm like, damn, girl, but at least buy me dinner. So then she starts hooking me up with all them wires, and I'm like, bruh, what the fuck? And then they're like sticking shit in my ear, and I'm like, damn, girl, I didn't know you were into that. And she's like, hell nah. And then she slapped me in a box, a soundproof box, and I'm like, what the hell? And then she's like playing sounds and stuff, you know. But a little bit before that, she put headphones in my ear. And I'm like sitting in this soundless box. I'm like, my ears are ringing because it's so quiet in there.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, hey, homie, you still listening?
No, I'm listening.
You still listening? All right, but anyway, so I was in there and it's quiet as hell. My ears start ringing. Because it's so quiet, you know? I can hear my heartbeat, bruh. I can hear the blood running to my boner. But then, all of
Whoa.
a sudden, a sound come out of nowhere, and it turns out the girl's talking to me in my ears like the potty chat right now. And I'm like, damn, girl, I wasn't know you into that ASMR, Momo. She's like, hell yeah, so we're gonna be checking your earwaves. I'm like, what the hell is that? She's like, we're gonna be measuring how deep your canals go. I'm like, yeah, girl, I'll be deep in your ear. So then she like wired me up again, and she's like, press the button when you hear the beep. I must have been a deaf motherfucker, because I only clicked that button like 3 times. But then she came in and she's like, you deaf as fuck. She slapped me in the back of the head and said, I like your neck. And I'm like, what's wrong with my neck? She's like, it's long and slender. I'm like, god damn. So then she gets me up, and I'm like, damn girl, that was crazy fine, but guess what? And she's like, hell what? I said, bruh, when do I get to the room? So I'm like, she's like, bruh, where the fuck was I? Alright, so then I go sit back to my mom, and she's like, what did you hear? I said, shit, dog, nothing. She's like, damn, that's why we're here. And I'm like, yeah, I hope they fix it. So then I whip on my book again and start reading a few chapters of that. I got like at least half a chapter done with that. Then the girl comes around, and she's like a redhead chick, and I'm like, damn
Ooh.
girl, I haven't seen you before. What's your name? She said, LaQuish, and I'm like, damn. That's the name of my aunt. So then she takes me in, and she puts me on this table, or at least I thought it was a table, but it turns out it turns into a seat and a table. I'm like, shit. But anyway, as I'm like talking to this lady about my hearing problems, a fucking French bulldog walks in.
Oh.
His name was Caesar. This ain't capping, bro. I
What
got
the
pictures.
fuck?
Hold on. I don't know if you're gonna
Yeah,
clip
an actual
this.
dog came in because it was his birthday.
Hold on, shit face. I'm still talking. But you know, all dogs' moms are dogs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, about you go wow wow. Am I right, man? So then she's talking about, bruh, how your ear be like so fucking crip. I'm like, damn, motherfucker, I'm a blood. So then I'm like talking about how I was in the deep blue, and like,
The
shit,
deep
bruh,
blue.
you know how blood and blue don't mix. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, the great blue water that I was in. You remember when I saw Dominic as a sea cucumber? Remember?
Yes, yeah.
I saw him.
Picture.
I videotaped
Yellow
him
video.
taking a shit. Oh yeah. So anyway, I saw him, and he's like, hell no. So then the blue and the blood, they didn't come together, because you know, blue and crip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then they
Don't fuck
fucked my
around.
ear. So then I'm like telling this bitch the story, and she's like, yeah, my dog's very funny. I'm like, bitch, did you hear a single thing I said? She said, yeah, you probably got some barrel trauma. I'm like, bitch, this ain't no fucking pub. So then the
It's
real doctor come
cancer.
in. The fuck you say?
Cancer.
Cancer, yeah,
You
anyway, the
know the
real
thing
doctor
that
came
crawls
in,
up
she's
your
like, yeah,
dick
you
and
probably have
shit.
cancer, but that's like less than 1%. I'm like, shit, dog, that's still 1%. Or something, I don't know, I didn't learn that trigonometer. But anyway, then she like looking in my ear and shit, I'm like, damn, bitch, that hurt, why you? Because
Trouble on
you
the
know, I'm
hands.
usually the pitcher, not the catcher, if you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
uh-huh.
So she's like penetrating my ear with that fucking, thermoscope. But then she like look in my right ear, and she says, damn, you got some wax. So then she's like, she said, I'm gonna put you on the table mode of this chair. I'm like, shit, dog. So anyway, I became the buffet for that bitch, and she like stuck in some fucking cold ass metal pliers in my ear and started taking out some of that
Macaroni and cheese potatoes.
yeah,
Yeah.
some of that burnt macaroni. So some of that shit came out. I'm like, damn, that's a lot. She's like, yeah, well, guess what? I'm like, what? She's like, that's not even a lot. I'm like, shit, bro, some niggas disgusting. At least clean your ear after sex, you know what I'm saying? So then she goes to my left ear, which is the one that I can't hear at her. She's like, damn, bro, there's nothing in there. I'm like, yeah, 'cause I'm only right. So anyway, she's like, damn, bro, so there's probably a pinched nerve in there, probably due to some cancer, but there's 1%. I'm like, shit, dog, I guess I got cancer. But what she doesn't know is that I got cancer in my right testicle from last Thursday when I piled up a 3-pound driver and stuck it up there. But that's another story, so I digress.
Wow.